So here are our brushes. And in here, I have them organized into really three major groups here. There's the wrinkles, really fine wrinkles, pores. There's kind of normal pores, and then clogged and impacted pores. And then we have these other two, like a whole group of pores, which helps to lay it all out. And then we have the surface breakup. So let's take a look at just a pore real quick. So this is the standard pore, and you can see you just draw it on out. Depending on how much resolution you have, it'll be really crispy. These are pretty high resolution. So if I make it bigger here, you can probably see the sharpness. There you go. So the idea with these brushes is to have a lot of detail and sharpness in each asset, and then use them in combination to quickly achieve, you know, high fidelity results. You know, I did the work to make the assets so that then I can just apply them and then get the kind of quality I want. So each of these brushes are handmade to give it that just kind of hyper real look and the kind of aesthetic that I like. Not necessarily 100% photoreal, but just a little more artistically curated. And now that I've made these assets for myself, you know, I'm happy with them. Now you can use them in your projects too. So that's the first pour. I'll just show you another one just to show you, like, you know, a little bit of a difference, subtle differences, but you know, you can't just repeat the same thing over and over. So that brings me to the pour group, and then we'll go take a look at some other stuff. So the pour group, I'll draw it real big so you can see. I, you know, used my pours to create this so that you can lay down big sections at once. And then you can just make sure that they get close enough, and then you can always just sculpt pour by pour, you know, in the gaps. So this is what I do to cover big areas and avoid going like pour by pour the whole way. You know, there's plenty of areas where you could just do this, but already you can see how the light's breaking up. We're not only getting pores, we're getting the little wrinkles in between the pores. We'll take a look at fine wrinkles brush. So this is made to do these like just really fine wrinkles, you know, that will go in the direction that the skin compresses. They're super, super fine. And you can see once if I start mixing it with the pores, you can imagine like on a forehead or down the cheek. You can also do more weathered sections and leather and stuff. You know, if you started just letting it go and intersect with itself, you could do like kind of an X pattern. If you came down one way and then came down the other way, you could even smooth it to break it up. Again, this is more like leather or elephant skin or something. Then come back over it. So you can create a really beat up surface, you know, rather quickly. And then probably my favorite brush is this skin surface brush, which is meant here. We'll do it on a clean section, but this is just made to like bump it and dimple it. You could even lower the intensity, or you'll see right now, but this already looks organic, you know? So when you start mixing this with the pores, now you're layering variation. So just by doing these 3 layers, the pores, then the fine wrinkles, and then the surface, then we're getting anything but like a tile. So now it's all unique detail. Now we're getting something that's really organic looking, and just by doing this combination of brushes. So this is the workflow, is just layering up these brushes, letting them interact with each other and creating those complex interactions and getting, like, you know, high fidelity in a short amount of time. So let's take a look at it on a face. Okay, so now we can load some of those textures into our surface noise. So if we come over here, we can go to the alpha. We can load up one of our detail textures, and then we'll really do the strength. Boom, there you go, right? So now there it is. Then we'll change the scale. We can apply it to the mesh. All right, there we go. Maybe we want to do it again, so we can just hit noise and then apply to mesh again. All right, so now we've got this in the geometry. See all these little details. And then with the morph brush, we can switch it. So now, boom, now we don't have anything. I'm gonna turn off symmetry since it's not working on that side anyways. And then I can morph it back in, and now, you know, pretty quickly I can start getting a base of my pores, so I don't have to do it all one by one. But then to come in and for the like focal points, you know, on the nose, around the eye and the lips, you would do it one by one. And we'll put in some fine wrinkles from like where the eye bends. Then we can come in here and use the fine line wrinkle brush to actually like put in some wrinkles. All right, then we can break up the surface. Break up the surface more on the cheek for sure. And if I can zoom in, look how sharp everything is. So I'm really in the micro details now. This way I just know the surface is never even. Even here I can just come around, just do these little circles and then break up the light. this has been how to use my brushes and textures in ZBrush, just using the straight up brushes that are included. And also you can load some of those tileable textures into the alpha of the surface noise to get up and running with some detail quickly, and then you can finish it off by hand. Thank you and happy sculpting.